Grab your fork and grab your knife. Morning, afternoon, and night. Mama's recipe and mine. We're about to have a good time. Hey sis, eat this. Hey sis, eat this. Woohoo! Yeah.
Hey sis.
Hey sis. Or should I say, hey little idiot?
Well, you should say ciao, little idiot, because I
that's
am
right.
currently in Italia.
I hate you.
I know.
Just kidding. I'm jealous.
In my absence, we've actually put together a little compilation series, some hilarious tales from our guests that recall some of their not so finest teenage moments.
Well, being that I'm on the precipice of having teenage daughters, I'm only 2 years away from the girls being the age where I started acting like a real teenage idiot. This episode scares the shit out of me. It's a frightening episode for me.
I know. I'm scared for you, frankly.
You're going to have to help me. Help me through the teen years, Whit.
I will. I definitely
We got to
will.
guide them to be better than we were.
Oh, God, yes.
We've interviewed so many idiots over the past year that we had to make this a two-parter. So if these stories bring up anything for you, please call our hotline at 866-443-9747 and share with us because we want to hear more teenage idiot stories. I might be scared, but they're funny.
They really are. Let's get into it. Court, I think that the Nolan brothers from episode 2 provided us with so much content that they'll probably make a cameo in every compilation we ever make.
They don't disappoint when it comes to parties either.
Nope. So clearly there were some epic parties that happened at your house growing up. Any of note?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. They went to, Andy went on this trip with them because you were small.
To California.
Yeah. When you guys were in Vegas, when you were watching, when you were watching porn in Vegas.
Who doesn't watch porn in Vegas?
I learned about it.
Live or on video?
Everything.
My parents were gone for 14 days and we had 12 parties at our house. We had parties.
Okay.
You and your older brother.
Stop for a moment.
Yeah.
How old were you? And where they left you alone for
I was a
that
junior in high school. My older brother was a senior in high school.
And they left you alone for 14 days.
Well, yeah, we were old enough to be responsible.
Wow.
Yeah, let alone normal teenagers, but
I think we had a party every single day. I can't remember. Yeah. So,
and we lived across the street from the sheriff? Or what was
I don't know what he
was
did.
the police chief.
Somebody
or
in law
of our little
enforcement.
Law
town.
enforcement.
Did he turn a blind eye or did you get in trouble?
Oh, we never got in trouble from him. We just, the only thing that I was worried about after the parties was my parents had put brand new carpet in and a girl at the party. I mean, this is Minnesota. So, I mean, there's girls smoking cigars and no dig on girls in Minnesota smoking cigars. It's all right. Ash fell right on the brand new carpet and burned like a quarter size. No, it was maybe like a nickel size burn right through the middle of the brand new carpet.
Did you discover this at the time or after the fact?
After the party.
Are you being serious that she was really smoking a cigar, not a cigarette?
Yeah, cigar.
Wow. Minnesota girls are
They're
intense, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they're hockey tough.
Yeah.
They're built to survive.
Yeah.
So then what happened?
So, I mean, we're all
cleaning up probably.
And we couldn't figure out how to fix it. It's in the middle of the carpet.
What color is the carpet?
Tan.
Okay.
We found a remnant. It was in the bathroom. It was a remnant that they'd put an extra piece of the carpet for. And we cut a little piece out of it and we couldn't figure out how to glue it into the spot.
Oh my God.
So I remember I'm looking and I'm like, we don't have any glue. We have nothing. And somebody next to me is chewing gum. And I'm like, I need that.
No.
I need that right here. And we put the gum down on it and turned it so that the nap was the right way, and it stuck there. But every single time I saw her run with the vacuum cleaner,
you were just waiting for it.
I was like, holy shit, it's gonna suck that up and be like, oh God, I don't know how did that happen?
What kind of carpet is that?
Mom, that vacuum cleaner's way too powerful.
It's like bubblicious coming up from the back. And it stayed.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Did you ever tell her about it?
No.
She's going to know now.
No.
Helen. Oh, that's amazing.
There's a lot of things that she doesn't know.
I got up the nerve to throw one party in high school, and one of the neighbors called, and there was 30 cars parked out front. This is in a townhouse, which is a great place to throw a party because everyone's connected. But I threw a party, and my mom found a beer can that was like twice the size in the freezer that someone had shoved in there. There was a 1 foot hole in the wall at the bottom of the stairs. And I had to like
reenact. Did you reenact how
I reenacted a fall down the stairs?
No.
And realized that the hole was too high. So I was like, then I hit this bump and like an idiot. And I told her that someone peer pressured me into taking a beer at school, and I didn't know what to do with it. So I threw it in the freezer when I got home.
Oh, yeah.
And then
And she totally bought it.
And I think the excuse for the 30 cars was that it was in the summer. So I said that they had a parking ordinance in the neighborhood next to us. And a girl that I went to school with lived over there. And so she asked if everyone could park the cars in front of our house. And I said, yeah, sure.
Oh my
So
gosh.
by the end of it, I was like a saint.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I was helping people.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Dad was in the background just going,
You're full of shit.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
frozen
We all
beer
had
can?
those
Did
lies.
you get in
Idiot.
trouble?
No.
I don't,
But
think, I don't think we got in trouble for anything.
The thing about Mom is like, she always thought the best of us.
Yeah,
You know?
you could tell her anything.
Oh, she was gullible.
Yeah.
She just thought that we could do no wrong, or maybe she just hoped,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
You were
And
her
she
boys.
maybe turned a blind. Maybe she like knew all the time.
I broke the
Think
back
so.
of my mom's Suburban shoving 2 kegs in the back, and it like completely
The third row.
took the third row off the rails. And they were in Hawaii, and I was throwing a party, and I had some guy friends coming there shoving the kegs in the back of the Suburban. My parents come home and they're like, what happened? And
There's a keg sticking out of their car, and you got away
the
with
keg
it.
was gone. That keg was tapped. But I don't
Oh.
even know what I told them. I mean, I might have actually even told them the truth at that point, because I was a senior and they knew I was just
You'd
a
already
freaking
gotten.
mess.
You were like,
You'd probably
"Screw
already
it, I'm
gotten
outta
into
here."
USC.
Oh, and I think we spilled the Jello shots all over the
Oh,
back
yeah.
too. It was all sticky.
did.
Yeah, it was a mess.
and didn't clean them up.
Yeah, right. Because why would I? You know,
Right. You're off to college soon.
Yeah, I was a total idiot in high school. I mentioned that earlier, but so were you.
I sure was. And one of my biggest teenage idiot moments involved one of my besties, still to this day, Lindsay, from episode 8. And my favorite part about this little story is her brothers, Jason and Colin, their reactions to our little idiot moments, but also what their parents did.
Yeah, and it's not only their family that it's like a funny story, but this is like epic in our family too. This is one that goes down in the history books of idiotness.
Oh, yes. When Lindsay and I were freshmen in high school, we were going to go to the Sadie Hawkins dance, which is the girls as the guys dance. And I was dating Brian and you were with Taylor. I had somehow convinced my girlfriend's older sister to buy us all alcohol. And I had it at my house and I put it in a duffel bag and I like wrapped it all individually up. And my dad goes out to, take me to the car and he's like, give me your bag. I'll carry it. I'm like, oh, no, I'm good. And he's like, what the hell is in doing this?
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, shoes. Everybody needed shoes for the dance because of the heels. And he's like, I don't know about this.
Why you're carrying like everybody's shoes when
That's an odd thing. Correct.
So
no one else is with
he
you
puts
except
it in
you.
the back of our red Suburban. We get out at Lindsay's and I'm like, go in there and I'm like, oh my God, I think my parents know. I think they know I've got the alcohol. So meanwhile, my dad's like, Whitney's bag's real heavy. And my mom's like, well, what's in it? And he's like, I don't know. It's her privacy. And she's like, fuck that. And they get in the back and they like unzip the bag and start just rolling out the Zimas and the wine coolers and the Boones and like all of it. And so Lindsay gets in the car and we go to pick up the next date. And anytime we turn a corner, it's like clink, 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 clink.
Well, didn't Dad rev the engine and turn really fast?
I'm sure he did.
So he's pulled it all out of the bag at this point.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
rolling around
It
loose
is
in the car.
rolling around in the
All
back
you hear is
of
the
this
clinking of
Suburban.
the wine coolers.
And we are like,
That is awesome.
And then they drop us off at Macaroni Grill for dinner. And my dad's like, here's your bag, honey. See ya for church at 8:30 in the morning. And I'm like, oh. So then we go to Amber's for the after party. And Brian gets so drunk, like beyond drunk. And Randall, y'all's dad, comes to pick us up. Was your mom in the car too?
No, I don't think so.
Just your dad?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he comes to pick us up. We're in the back. I'm with Brian and he just starts vomiting.
In the car?
Oh,
In
yes.
the Suburban?
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
And
Right
your
behind,
dad's-
right behind Dad, right behind the driver's seat.
Yeah,
Oh
right
my
behind.
gosh.
And and I'm like, oh God, oh God.
Yeah.
And just puking everywhere on the floorboard. And so we get home and I remember your dad like goes and gets the hose.
Yeah.
And it's like hosing out the vomit of the car.
Oh my
What
God.
is he-
such a clear indication of how the youngest was treated versus previous generations, because
Well, and probably
I would
boys
have had
versus
that
girls.
hose.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Right.
You know,
Oh,
so
for
nobody-
sure.
You know, maybe it was a daughter versus a son, or it was
Yes.
a middle
No,
child
it's
versus
both,
a
yeah.
youngest.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But my question is, why wouldn't Mom and Dad confiscate the wine coolers? They just they gave them.
Oh,
back to you.
no. They kept them
Yeah.
rolling in the back of the car and
then
just gave me
them
the
to you to
bag.
drink.
Empty.
No.
No,
Just gave me the empty bag.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Brian got drunk
Some
off of
other people.
all the
Something
booze
else.
we
Okay,
had.
Yes,
thank
I'm
you for
sorry. I should
clarifying.
have said Brian would have been the one with the hose.
Oh.
What was Dad doing during
The
this
car.
while he's throwing up behind Dad driving?
I can't imagine.
Continuing the drive home. I mean, I'm sure
he was
on
dedicated
the
on-
radio, trying to get the right bass.
Okay, Whitney, here's what I'm going to say about this next call in from the Williamson siblings, Mama Mary. You know,
Oh, yeah.
if my kids ever did something like this, they would be in so much more trouble than these two got in. I would literally lose my shit. So this mama, I can say, is a true angel.
Truly, Mama Mary is.
Hi, this is Mary. I'm calling to tell you a story about my two children. In retrospect, when I think back about them, they were such good friends, and they hardly ever gave us any trouble until they were in high school. They both had the same friends in high school. They were 2 years apart, and our house seemed to be party central when we were out of town. I'm thinking of this one particular day. We returned back. We were overnight or away for the weekend, and they were probably sophomores and seniors. And we had a brand new kitchen table. We came in, house is so clean, just can't believe it. And we sit down in the table and we notice it is just filled with dents. Now the table was brand new and there are dents, little tiny dents all over the table. Of course, we call up Jonathan and Amanda and we said, did you throw a party? No party, no party. No, we were out all weekend. Everything's great. No party. And we said, brand new table. We didn't leave it like this. You must have bought it like that and you didn't notice it, on and on. The two of them stuck to their stories. The next day, our neighbor rings our doorbell. He's coming to complain about the big rager that was held at our house over the weekend. So we weren't thrilled with this neighbor and how he would tattle on our kids, often to another neighbor, and the other neighbor would say, oh, the Bill's complaining about John's and Amanda having parties at your house again every time you two leave. So we call him down, tell him Bill was there. We finally get to admit there was a party, and the parties are usually in our basement. But why are they up on our new kitchen table? Comes to be, they did fess up. They were playing quarters up there, and the dents are all quarter marks all over the table. Dave and I kind of laughed it off because we didn't like the neighbor tattling on them. So, of course, they got off scot-free. But so many stories. But thank you for having us think back and remember that time. And we went with our kids instead of the neighbor.
That is just too funny. But I think that for Mama Mary, the quarters on the table was just the beginning of the unfathomable incidents that would happen to her house from her kids, her little teenage idiot son and daughter, Jonathan and Amanda, from episode 24.
And we didn't even put in the most horrifying story of all that they shared in a call-in. So you're going to have to go to National Siblings Day episode back in May. Listener discretion advised.
I think there's no better way to truncate our childhood than it requires a warning at the beginning of every podcast when we're talking about it. Like, that feels like a plaque, like some kind of achievement.
That's amazing.
So you at the party house is what I'm feeling.
100%.
Okay.
Like, it was the movie Can't Hardly Wait to a T, multiple times a year. Mom and dad never home. So we threw this one party once. People were playing quarters on a kitchen table. When the light hit the table, it was just covered in quarter marks.
Oh my God. And did y'all
know?
dents, little dents?
I don't think I saw it before. Did you, Jonathan?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's that initial walk around the house, right? To kind of assess the state of things. And I remember looking at that table and just thinking, oof, I don't know if there's any coming back from this one.
Oh
This could be a bridge too far.
And your mind's spinning like, what can we tell her happened?
So I remember calling up the hardware store, being like, hey, do you have anything that can get marks out of a table? Thinking like, oh yeah, there's definitely a fix for this, right? Like, they're going to notice, so we just have to go to Audible to getting it fixed. And they said, oh, well, we can sand it down. And I thought, that's not an option. Is there something that's going to be a slightly lighter lift than that? And they said, well, we have these pencils. And they're like, basically Crayola pencils. I don't really think they're fooling, but they suggest just coloring on the table as if that would do it. And we tried it, and it was horrible, and it made it worse. And if there was any hope we were getting away with it before then, it was erased when there's brown smudge drawing extra attention to each crevice in the table. So that was not our finest moment.
Yeah. And Mom was so funny because they were gone for most of our parties, but I'm now remembering another one. It was around Christmas time, and Jonathan, you were in college and we were home for the holidays. Or you were home for the holidays, and we had some people over. It wasn't a huge rager, but people got pretty drunk, and Mom had my mom at their house in Virginia would do 2 Christmas trees. We'd walk into the foyer, there'd be a beautiful unified one. Right. You know where I'm going with this story, don't you, Jonathan?
Yeah, it's a great one.
And then Mom came down. We were all there, and they had gone to bed. They were fine with us having a few people over. So Mom comes down the stairs to get a drink of water in the kitchen, and she sees one of Jonathan's friends who you had been friends with him since middle school or whatever. And my parents knew his parents, and he's so drunk. He's standing in front of our Christmas tree, literally peeing in our Christmas tree. And my mother, I'm not going to say his name. My mother says, she was like, you get in the car right now. And she literally drove him to his house, made him get in her car, drove him to his house, dropped him off at his house in his lawn, and drove back and was so mad.
Oh my!
I would be, oh my God! I would literally peeing in our Christmas tree.
Well, I definitely wouldn't want that kid coming over to my house.
No.
Same party, someone threw up on a Snoopy phone. We had this
oh
nice
my God, I forgot.
phone, and one of my friends
hold on, I have to stop you. You're we had this nice
Snoopy phone. What's a Snoopy phone?
It was like a Peanuts collectible.
Okay.
Was
it the family landline? Or?
Yeah. Oh yeah, but it was like Snoopy was like holding the phone, and you would like pick the actual receiver up off Snoopy's hand.
Was it mounted to the wall?
No, it was like a
Okay.
statue.
Okay.
Nice may have been a stretch. I should have said kitschy Snoopy phone, but I just remember the irony of like
Snoopy phone.
someone throwing up on Snoopy and thinking like, ooh, that's a metaphor for something far greater.
Okay. People have shit in your house.
Yeah.
They've pissed in your Christmas tree. They've thrown up on your telephone. Like, I would move. Like, I just don't know how your mom put up with it.
Well,
God bless Mama Mary. I mean, this woman has put up with so much.
An angel.
Not many of our teenage idiots on this episode got away with the party shenanigans, but my bestie Angela called in to the hotline with a story from our high school days where we were doing some little idiot shit.
Yeah.
Hey, Whit and Court, this is Angela. I have known you two for longer than I can even remember. And Whitney and I have been wreaking havoc all over, Texas, California, Arizona for years. But I'm calling today because just like you two, I have sisters, and we have found ways to get in plenty of trouble over the years. Today, I was thinking about a particular story that happens to involve Whitney, because yes, Whitney was involved in a lot of troublemaking schemes between my sisters and I over the years. And even though we grew up together, Whitney and I lived in different cities and high school and beyond, but we found ways to visit each other. And this one time she came to visit me, I believe it was our senior year of high school. And my good friend, her parents were out of town. So of course, you know what that means, house party. Well, it was off to a pretty good start. We had the Jell-O shots. We had lots of people coming. No neighbors were, trying to shut our party down or anything yet. And we thought we had pulled off the perfect house party. Well, I start getting some phone calls, and honestly, I don't think I had a cell phone at the time, but maybe my friend did. And so we started getting phone calls from my sister, and she happened to be dating a Travis County deputy sheriff at the time. Well, they got some phone calls that there was a party going on, and they were heading over to our friend's house to break up the party. So she's calling me, telling me, you gotta leave, the cops are coming. We're like, oh my gosh, we gotta get out of here. So it's always good to have a sister on your side, whether you're the one causing trouble or she is. It's really awesome to have that, someone looking out for you. Well, needless to say, the party got broken up, but Whitney and I, we did not get in trouble. We were able to get back home. Well, I won't say nobody was the wiser because our parents found out about it, but we didn't end up getting arrested for underage drinking. So, success, and thanks to my sister for dating the Travis County deputy sheriff. Love you, Whit. Love you, Court.
Okay, so I have a comment about this.
Okay.
Angela mentions that we didn't get in trouble that night, and that part is true. But the next morning, Marianne, her mother, walks outside and sees vomit all over her azaleas.
And if you're not from Texas, azaleas are a big deal. You don't want to find vomit on your azaleas. They've got a very short lifespan.
Yeah. So what had happened is we came home after raging, and I puked all over her flowers.
Oh no.
And was like hammered and went to bed and didn't think twice about it until the next day. Marianne comes busting into the house and is like, who puked all over my azaleas?
Texans take their azaleas very seriously.
I mean, I don't blame her. It was disgusting.
That is disgusting.
It was funny.
Did you fess up?
I'm sure I did. I mean, at that point, we were going into college. It was like that summer. So I was just like, sorry, Marianne.
You weren't at risk of getting grounded.
No. And Marianne was like basically my second mom.
You were just an idiot.
Exactly.
Yeah. Gosh, you would really hope that with each new generation of teens that they wouldn't do the stupid shit that we did, that they would have evolved as a species. But
who are you kidding, Courtney? I mean, teenagers are always going to be little idiots.
Oh,
and our cousin Katie on episode 29 had to come in and pretty much fill in all the gaps that our younger cousin Sam couldn't remember from a drunken teenage night out at a party.
Yeah, only a few years ago.
I know. They're so young.
Basically, because of me, we had no rules. Like, our rules were don't lie and do whatever you want. And so with that, I will let Sam tell his stories.
Okay.
I think it was a sophomore year in high school. We were at a party up in Plano. I had just discovered vodka and Sprite. It was my favorite drink.
Boy.
I haven't touched vodka and Sprite in probably 5 or 6 years because of this night, I think. I had so much vodka and Sprite. I don't remember a lot until I am in the Uber on my way home, and we're going up the tollway. We live, like we said, Preston Royal, so Plano's a little far. I have to take the tollway.
Mm-hmm.
I am in the Uber with 2 other people screaming at this Uber driver to slow down on the tollway because I am dizzy. The whole world is spinning a million miles an hour.
Poor Uber driver.
He's like, I'm going 55.
I feel so bad for this man. I think we got down to about 20 miles an hour on the tollway. We were going slow. I was telling this man to slow it down. Roll down the window. Eventually end up throwing out of the window this Uber.
I'm going to pause and say you actually missed out the window because Mom later got a $200 cleaning fee for the Uber.
It might have been on the side. I tried. I tried my best. Okay, I tried. We get home. This is a part I don't remember, but apparently I walked into my house trying to be sneaky, and my mom found me because I was probably being drunk and loud trying to get to my room. I was only in my underwear. Only in my underwear. All my clothes have been gone. I'm just like, I wake up that morning, like she's telling me all this, like pissed at me, like, Sam, what the hell? Like, we're going to church. She woke me up at like 7 a.m.
They love to do that when you're hungover.
Church.
And she's like, we're going to church. It's Sunday.
Yeah.
You messed up. We're going to church. Get your clothes on. I'm like,
confess your sins, you little heathen.
How did I show up in my underwear? What happened? I remember wearing clothes in the Uber. I remember
you definitely left the party with your clothes on.
I left the party with my clothes on. I was in the Uber with my clothes on.
Oh my gosh.
So I get my clothes on for church. I'm not feeling good. Get in the car. Dad's driving. Mom's in shotgun. I'm in the back. We're pulling out the driveway up our street, going to church. My clothes, my shoes, my socks are just in our front yard right by my car. My dad does not see it. My mom sees it. I see it. We make eye contact, and she has this iconic eyebrow that when she's mad, she can only do when she's mad. She just gives me that eyebrow. She's like, that's where your damn clothes are.
Okay, so I want to fill in a little bit more.
I'm just dying right now.
A little bit more of this story that you probably don't remember.
Definitely not.
You came home. You threw up on Mom.
What?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe.
She takes you upstairs to your bed. She puts
in your
you
underwear.
In your underwear. She put some Advil next to your bed for you for the morning because she knew she was going to make you go to church.
Yeah, that didn't help.
And you looked at her and you just said, Mom, I love you. And she said, I love you too, Sam. And then she went downstairs and she said, that is the most love you have ever given her.
Hey, drunk words or sober thoughts, right?
Yeah. She called me the next day. I was in college,
Sam
and she
said
said
he loved me.
She told me this whole story, and she said, "But the best part is that Sam said that he loves me."
We gotta get him drunk more often.
See, that's advice for everyone. If you ever fuck up, just say you love someone.
Right.
It is, kind of true.
Sam.
Wait, okay. I mean, I have so many questions.
I mean,
how did the throw up on Janty go?
I actually know a lot more details about this story that Sam might not
sober,
remember.
Yeah.
And she called you the next day and spilled the beans.
Obviously all of it. I don't think that it was catastrophically that you threw up on her, but I think that you
little baby burp.
Did a little baby throw up on
spit
her.
Up.
And
she just put a little burp cloth on her shoulder.
That is a teenage idiot story. That is one for the books. I'm not going to lie.
Well, this has been fun. It's been funny.
It has. It's been fun and funny. And it also made me feel a little bit better about myself that I wasn't as big of a teenage idiot as some of these other little idiots have been.
I don't know, Whitney. I mean, I think there's a lot of stories we haven't told about ourselves.
Oh, that's true. Well, if anybody feels the need to share with us a funny story relating to your teenage idiotness, or if you have any ideas about other compilations you'd want to hear, please give a call in to our hotline at 866-443-9747.
Well, I'd say love your show, but I think I got to say ciao, Bella, right?
Ciao, Bella.
But say it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, come on. All right. I love you. I love your show from afar.
You too, babe. Love ya. Have some pasta for me.
I will.
Thank you so much for listening to Hey Sis, Eat This. If you LOL'd, peed your pants a little bit, or even smirked, please hit subscribe if you haven't already. And feel free to rate and review, but only if it's positive.
Also, visit our website for recipes and to sign up for our newsletter at HeySisEatThis.com.